Today we are going to talk about how to detach in a healthy way. Detachment is something that we are hearing a lot about. We've heard a lot about how to have healthy detachment in dating. This is so important, especially if you're a girl that has an anxious attachment style, or a woman who feels like the biological clock is rushing and she does not have time to mess around. And when you're dating, you just feel like, come on. And this is also very important for just life. This is going to help you through life. And often when we hear about detachment, it almost comes from online divas who are like, listen, just walk away, don't tolerate any nonsense. Detachment isn't something that is built on, let's put detachment. Detachment isn't built on being sassy and being able to walk away. If you walk away from absolutely every single person who triggers your anxiety or doesn't do what you want them to do when you want them to do them, you're going to end up very much alone. You're going to end up very much not able to attach. And let's just be clear that attachment is healthy. Attachment is necessary. We need to attach to people, have a place in people's lives so that we can actually flourish, because human beings are hardwired for connection, and through connection we actually grow, we actually become healthier psychologically. There's so many benefits from being connected to a community, to a people. So having and wanting an attachment is not something that we should have a hands-off approach, but often it's spoken to us in a way that is quite toxic. You know, you don't need any man, okay? You don't need any man. Men need women more than women need men, and we get into all the politics. The truth of the matter is we need men, we need women, we need children, we need everybody, okay? So what do we do when we find ourselves in a position where we attach very quickly? We attach and then we have a hard time letting go. And I meet this a lot with my clients. I've been doing this for over a decade. I've coached and supported and spoken to over 6,000 women, maybe 7,000 women. And I can tell you categorically from my experience and from the feedback I get in my emails, in the comments, all the things, that women really have a hard time detaching. And that's okay, because we are relationally wired. Feminine energy is relationally wired. Our ability to attach to our children, our ability to attach to a partner is necessary for the survival of human beings, because we are oxytocin bearing beings. Through oxytocin, we attach strongly and profoundly. And so when we're talking about detachment, what I really am asking you to do is almost go counterflow. We're kind of working against nature in a way. But if we say do not attach completely, then you're not going to be able to do that. And if we say detach right away, you're not going to be able to do that. So what we need to do is give your mind an understanding of what we can healthily attach to and what we can detach, what we need to detach from. Okay, so detachment will be a game changer when it comes to dating, and dating at a very high level. When we're talking about dating higher value men, detachment is going to be your best friend. Let's put number one here. Number one, we detach not from the people and not from the connection. We detach from the outcome. And this is something we want to do quite early in the dating process. We want to show up. A lot of girls are like, but I did everything you told me to do, Chengi. I did all my high value procedures. I watched all your videos. I watched all the videos online, and I didn't chase, and I didn't do all these things. But what happened? We need to detach our actions, our value from the outcome of any connection, because somebody else also has to play the game, and we have to understand what is within our control and outside of our control. I had a client who set a boundary for a gentleman she was dating. They were talking every day. He was constantly checking in, all the things. It was also wonderful. Then one day she decided to ask him about his faith, and she made it clear that, you know what, she really wants to be with a man of faith, a man who believes in God, because she really wants that alignment in her life. And he was a little bit, he played well, but I think it's something that definitely put him off. He was also a believer. He was also the same faith as her, but I suspect that he wasn't as serious, a bit more open to other things. And so they had this conversation, and he faded away. He just disappeared. And so my client was left feeling like, what happened? He's the closest to perfection in terms of dating, and the man that I've chosen, he's the closest to that than I've actually ever really been. So Chengi, what happened? And I said to her, well, you need to learn to detach from outcomes and attach to your authenticity, your values. Be so attached to your authenticity and to your values that the outcome of people deselecting you because you are so authentic and you're so vulnerable, that has nothing to do with you. You cannot control this person. We can, in order to heal, to really become well at detaching, we need to enter every transaction, whether it's emotional, spiritual, business, or whatever, with the understanding that we can only be responsible for what we do and say, but we can never be responsible, neither can we control what the other person, what the other person hears, how the other person responds. Why? Because we're never really talking to the ears and the eyes of another person. We're always speaking to their belief systems. We're always speaking to their values. We're always speaking to their shadow. We're always speaking to the complex makeup of that person internally. And you could have done absolutely nothing wrong or done absolutely everything right and still be rejected. A woman must always understand, even a man must always understand, that he cannot control outcomes. The only thing we can do is position ourselves for the best possible outcome. And in the terms of relationship, it is the outcome that is around our authenticity and our values. We need to detach when we're dating from, is he going to choose me to be his girlfriend? Is he going to ask me on another date? Is he going to make me his wife? Because when we detach from the outcome, we actually show up more authentically, more lighthearted. We bring the kind of energy that says, I'm here now, I'm enjoying you now, I'm enjoying this now. And if we compound enough nows, enough great nows that are not loaded with, if I do this for you, will you give me a future? Will you commit to me? Will you make me your girl? If I give this to you, will you select me out of all the other women? If we show up as just, I'm here, today's the day that the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it. If we show up in every interaction, joyful, happy just to be here, just to be able to share space with another human being that we're developing a fondness for, then that becomes an addictive energy. That becomes the kind of energy especially men want to be around, because men have to deal with a lot of stress. We deal with a lot of stress too, but men have a lot more stress than the average woman because they don't get favors for being pretty. They don't get to just, walk into the room and just have some guy think, oh, she's cute, I'll let her in. He has to work for everything. He has to fight for everything, and so his stress levels are so high that when he wants a woman in his life, he's really looking for that lighthearted energy. But then if you come with your heavy expectations, this has to be the outcome. If I'm dating you, this has to be the outcome. If I'm talking to you on the app or off the app and we're exchanging this has to be the outcome. We're too attached to the outcome, and then we eventually begin to sabotage the actual connection that is being built brick by brick, stone by stone. That's how we build relationships, not by leaping across. So when we're talking about detachment, we're not talking about the big, huge picture. We're not talking about, I am going to completely detach from the man. No, we're saying we're not trying to detach from the man. He's not the enemy. We're trying to detach from our own illusions, our own perceptions, and our own projections about what each connection should mean. Because nothing means anything except the meaning we put on it. The woman who is able to be in the present, okay? The woman who is able to be in the present is the woman that is always going to raise the most attraction. So ask yourself, when you meet the next hottie that you want to talk to, ask yourself this simple question. Is this man somebody that I enjoy spending time with? Is this man somebody who, when I am with them, I have a good time? Because my reward is in those moments, in the now moments. It's not in whether he chooses me. Ask yourself, do I feel safe? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel safe? Do I feel seen? Do I feel comfortable in this man's presence? Because that is the reward. That is the need that needs to be met right now. Not the future. Future needs are met in the future. Jesus says, take no thought of tomorrow, because tomorrow will take care of itself. Tomorrow has its own problems and will take care of itself. Being able to live in the present is the power that allows us to get the most out of every interaction, build enough attraction for him to want to see you again, and still choose the man, still like the man, still opt for the man if the man is presenting himself in a way that is, comfortable, safe, and secure and makes you feel seen. We can still attach to the man. That's okay. And when I say attached, I mean hopefully securely attached to the man, but detach ourselves from all these outcomes, because men feel it. They feel when a woman is attached to the outcomes. They feel it when all you want is the marriage, all you want is the boyfriend, all you want is this, and then they go running. Okay, they go running. There's our guy running away, okay, from us, because because he doesn't want to be the stooge. He doesn't want to be the placeholder for your dreams. He actually wants to be the man that you have consciously chosen. And so when we learn the art of detachment, what we learn to do is attach in a more secure way to the person and not necessarily to our desired outcome or our projected outcome. I hope that this video was really very helpful for you. If you want to see more, please leave a comment. Don't just watch and go. If you want to understand something else, if there's a topic you want me to discuss, leave it in the comments below. Share this video with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and I will see you in my next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Bye-bye.
Hey beautiful, thanks for watching. If you are looking to attract or deepen the kind of love that feels safe and lasting, click the first link in the description. It's a 30-day challenge to reset your love life.